Shlomo Brechtahro, good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. Originally, I prepared 60 slides for you, but I have mercy with you. So at the end, there are 30 slides. You can count the time, no problem. So I'm talking about Naum Faiq because I can say I worked extensively with his writings, published some books about him in Arabic, in German, in English, and we transcribed his magazine Kawkab Madnho, and soon also Beth Nahrin. And for you, as we don't know, Naum Faiq Palach is originally from Omid, Diyarbakir, and is counted as the founder of our modern Assyrian national movement. And beside that, he is the founder of a society, Intibah Society, Irutho, which had 14 sections in Beth Nahrin or Upper Mesopotamia, before the genocide, before 1915. So the task was for today is to dig deeper in the question, what did Naum Faiq documented about the Sayfo period? I received these questions in my lectures in our community very often, that they say Naum Faiq didn't wrote anything about Sayfo. Well, the problem with Naum Faiq and his compatriots, or the documentation of that time, these documents were lost. I can say we found them around the year 2008, 2010, with the establishment of a short-living institution named MARA, Modern Assyrian Research Archive. This institution searched for old materials, for libraries, for private libraries also, and make them digitally available. So starting from 2010, I would say, these magazines are available for us. And for us, the first reproduction or the first book was my book in Arabic, with all Arabic, or originally written in Gershuni Arabic, of Naum Faiq in 2020. So before that, I can say we rarely had anything originally from Naum Faiq. So, and back to Naum Faiq, he was a journalist, also known as a journalist. He was publisher of 3 magazines. First of all, Kawkab Madnho in Diyarbakir before the genocide. Then the long-lived magazine Beth Nahrin from 1960 till 1930, with interruption of 1 year, where he was also the chief editor of Huyodo. So, talking about Beth Nahrin, because this is the main, I will talk also about Huyodo, but Beth Nahrin is the main magazine, and here you can see how many issues were produced and in which languages. All of them were produced in Gershuni, Syriac letters with Turkish, with Arabic, and of course Syriac too. We have in total, or we look in total for 186 issues. We have around, I would say, around 170, a little bit less than 170 are available. So we still miss around 20 issues are still missing. Huyodo was the first step to unite the Assyrian powers, I would say, in the United States, to have a modern magazine in typing letters. From this magazine, we still miss 1 issue. We have 39 issues. So, coming back to Naum Faiq and documenting Sayfo. What I can say, there is a lot of documentation in the writings of Naum Faiq about Sayfo. This is only a short list what we can find. I will display some of them more in detail. But you can see that he for sure wrote about Sayfo, about different, also after Sayfo, what happened. So, but in general, we see the situation in Beth Nahrin that news came very late to the US. Here you have one of these articles where they say that 1 year or 1 year and 3 months the letters take till they received in the US. So that's why the first information about Sayfo we will see in 1960, at the end of 1916. Here again, they asked to provide, or they request their readers to provide them with relevant details. So they were seeking for information. They received information from Armenian newspapers, from Arabic newspapers, and also from American newspapers. But at the end, they wanted, of course, from our co-group information. So the first longer information or article was written by Sanharib Bali. Sanharib Bali was a compatriot of Naum Faiq. He produced also his own magazine named Sawt al-Othoroy till 1950. He wrote here about Adaysher, the murder of Adaysher, the bishop of Sard. Here we have also a poem about him. We reproduced this article in English and in German. So you can see here it's April 1960, the first article we met dealing with Sayfo. Then we meet in Arabic, a very emotional article by Naum Faiq. He describes Eastern celebration in Mesopotamia, and here you can read it. I don't have to read it, but you can see here how the sorrows are, how he described the calamities of our people there, how they used to celebrate Easter, and how it's now during Sayfo. Then here they received information about the massacres in Beth Nahrin, especially here in Midyat, Jizr, and Nusaybin. And there are also names here, Gabro Hado, Ablahad Effendi. And here also Naum Faiq states clear that the oppressive policies of the Unionist Ittihad Jidlar are responsible for that. Then also in Syriac, an article about the war, Qrobo Tsuryoye Am Sharbotho Tqordoye, the ongoing fight. This is more about the Eastern Syriacs, or as you said, Nestorians here, or Assyrians. He get this information from his sister journals, Assyrian Courier from Jewel Warda and Mshakhdana Turaya of Paul Nwiya. So this, you can see here a lot of headlines of that time dealing with the situation in Hakkari and the Iranian side. The articles are of course longer, but I took only the headlines to show you what is documented. And of course, before coming to assassination, there are also printings of letters from, for example, Mar Benjamin Shamoun, before he was assassinated. Here he wrote a letter, I think first of all to Jewel Warda and Paulus Nwiya, and it was reproduced here in Beth Nahrin also. Then we have now December 1960, so 1.5 years, you can say, after beginning of Sayfo. We have here the information about Galle Hermes from Midyat, his murder. It's a longer article, as you see, with a picture. We have rarely pictures in Beth Nahrin, but here you can see Galle Hermes received the picture, and you will see later some other pictures. Then we have now January 1917, the information that Professor Ashur Yusuf from Kharput was murdered. Also here his picture and a a longer article about his life and efforts. Then a further article, how the deportation or the Sayfo was happened in Midyat. This one is in Arabic. There they are talking about Shamun Hannahaido and his brother Malke. They are very known from Sare or from Iwardo, as you like, or Psorino. There it's documented that they fought against the troops who were are in front of the villages. Then we mentioned, Jan van Kinkel mentioned Metropolitan Abdul Nur. He was at the beginning bishop of Kharput, later became bishop of Syria. He was in Homs and then came back as bishop of Diyarbakir. Here we have a report that it's about Gargar and Shiro, that they were emptied from the Christian population and that the bishop came too late and they stated that no more Christians left there. Then we have a longer article about the mobilization in Diyarbakir or the victims of Diyarbakir. First of all in Beth Nahrin, but a longer eyewitness report in Huyodo. There we see a longer list. This is still Beth Nahrin. A longer list of names. I highlighted some of them. This one is the first one. Is Yaqub Darakchi. I will talk about him later. Then here you see Bashar Helmi Buruji. I will also talk about him. And this woman, I think it's a woman, Mervan Jadir, daughter of Quryaqos Khadr. Quryaqos Khadr was the father-in-law of Naum Faiq. So this was sister-in-law of Naum Faiq, which was murdered in Mardin. And he listed, as you can see here, 47 names which were killed from Diyarbakir. Yaqub Darakchi, I talked about him. He was a teacher there in Omid in Diyarbakir. And as you can see, he received also a picture in Beth Nahrin. Ilyas Fahmi, this article came in 1924, some years later, but this guy was a successor of Naum Faiq as teacher in Diyarbakir, and he was killed. He was taken to the military service, but he was killed during that time. He was very young, I think 26 years. Okay. Malfono Bashar Helmi Buruji, I talked about him. He was also took to military work or service or construction work, killed there. He was a compatriot of Naum Faiq as a journalist. He was chief editor of Shifuro. Then we have an extended list in Beth Nahrin. This list was presented in the Peace Conference of Paris. This list was compiled by Patriarch Elias Shakir. Of course, it lists only the victims of his church, around 100,000 or 90,000 people. Then we have, of course, the murder of Mar Shamoun is documented there. One last thing, I have 3 slides left. Naum Faiq is known for his poems, for his poetry, and as you know, in poems you try to compress your feelings in very little sentence to be powerful. And this you can see, this is one of them. If you write here, helpless Beth Nahrin is devastated, crushed underfoot today. The people of Diyarbakir and Baghdad are all grieving now. Nusaybin, Jizre, Midyat, as well as Mosul and Mardin, Kharput and Orfa, all lie in ruins, as does Miya Farqin, today Silvan. This is one of them. The other poem is you can see here it's from 1920. The years of cruel and dreadful war have inflicted incurable wounds and irreparable breaches in the heart of our nation. There are no more people, no more life. Everything is lost to nothingness. Not a single person remains in the villages. The dry bones of hundreds of thousands of Assyrian victims buried in the vast deserts of Iraq bear witness. One longer poem in 1921. There is always discord between our leaders and the nation. It's of course a little bit, he is very critical in his articles. They sing conflicting notes devoid of harmony. All hell broke loose in the Assyrian realm. My sighs and yearning mourn the red blood that has been shed. The bloodthirsty Turk destroyed my hope without remorse. My curses are upon the cursed lineage of Turan. Mesopotamia choked in blood, groaned. There, chastity, dignity, property, and lives were made cheap. This in short, the poems, and as I said, after the genocide, there are a lot of reports. Some of them are republished in modern languages also. We have a lot of information about the Paris Peace Conference. The situation of Tur Abdin in the 1920s, Taqibat Hajo, there's a longer article for that. Deportation from Ofa is a longer article. And in conclusion, I can say Naum Faiq offers a wide field of research for us today. We have to dig deeper. What I could collect so far were around 100 pages, only from raw material I could select. Of course, in general, every article or almost all articles of Naum Faiq, if you read them, you feel the sorrow of oppression of Sayfo in them. There are this feeling. Of course, he gives also hope in the meantime to awake, Itha'ir Bar Thur and so on, these poems. And at the end, it's an open field. As I said, the material is not completely available because the organization Mara is closed due to financial problems. So it's stored, the material is stored in a Google Drive where only some people have access to that. But however, thanks to Thomas Beth Abdallah, who is responsible for that still, at least we have the scans in digital form. So what we could now do, as I mentioned before, we have so far 4 books. There are more books, of course, it's not all. This is with original articles of Naum Faiq. As I said, I published the Arabic one in 22, then 2021 in Syriac, Thomas Beth Abdallah, and then English and German. And we have the complete transcription of Kawkab Madenho, was also published. And soon I will publish 2 volumes of Beth Nahrin in Arabic, will be also available, so that scholars can directly see what was written there. So, all right, thank you.
Now we are really on time. We have 10 minutes. Please, questions, comments.
If you want to have my 30
No, thank you. Later. So that's. But we will enjoy them once you publish the whole book. So I'm sure that we will learn a lot of things.
Thank you.
From the content. So please, who is willing to ask to intervene? As you know, it's please.
Thank you very much, Abud. I am somehow accompanying your work, and I'm happy about your publications. Do we have anything before? So we have now the information part, the information about Sayfo time. But what do we have about, especially from the areas where he was active as a teacher in Ghazan and the region of Redwan and Bashiriya and so on, even Bitlis? Do we have anything from this material?
Do you mean directly of Naum Faiq, of his biography?
In his, yeah, from his, in this
Well, he had an extensive article in Intibah magazine. There was also a magazine named Intibah as a Society, which was published in the US by Jabbour Boyaji from 1909 till 1915. There's a longer article where Naum Faiq, by his own, write the reasons why he escaped the homeland. But about his teaching career, we know only the places where he was, but what he more deeper not. We have, of course, an article which I have in original in my possession by his handwriting, where he started a longer article about the massacre of 1895 from Diyarbakir, but he didn't continue that. It was 1.5 page in Gershuni, I think Arabic, not sure about that. But we have information from Intibah magazine, because it started from 1909 till 1915. There are a lot of information which we have to dig deeper. Because it's in Gershuni Osmanli, we have to need a bridge to the modern Turkish and then to the other languages. I can't Osmanli and I can't Turkish, but I am very happy to have a network. I have to mention their names. Aydin Aslan Benakshi, Jan Betsawoy, Yosef Bahdi, and we're getting bigger and bigger, this circle who managed to transcribe this value we have in our hands now.
Yes, especially because we like a kind of organized workshop on such topics, because we feel proud of what our forebears were when the whole golden period from the 3rd until to the 14th century, and then there's a big gap. And now we discover that the gap is not such big as we mean. We don't know our own heritage, and thanks to this group.
Thank you.
We have to support. We have to support such a
Thank you. What I didn't mention is we not only published these 4 books, we have around maybe 15 or 20 books from our group already published from this material. So I focused only on Naum Faiq and Sayfo for this session. We have published more books than these 4.
As you can see, working in a collective way, Siqtana'id, makes us much more productive. So let's learn to work. Really, this is probably the first step, and I'm thankful to you to mention it. Is there any other question? Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, and I will have to write many chapters new of my book. Because all I knew of Naum Faiq was that he was a strong person who always reminded his people, be strong and wake up. That's the concept of Ittiba. And now first I was very moved to see his tragic lyrics. Yes, I hadn't known anything of it. But my question is different. You were talking about where he got the information about the situation of the Marchim on. He published even a call for sponsoring the war in the Urmia region. And I thought maybe this is the first time that people from the Diyarbakir region are that much aware of the situation further east. And you were saying where he got his information from, like a letter from the Mark Shimon when he published a letter from him. How did he get these letters? Can you document this, or is it this just...
No, it's documented, because he writes from where he received that. The Patriarch had a representative there. His name is Paul Shamoun, who lived in New York and became also a co-auditor of Huyodo later. So there was a strong connection between Eastern and Western Assyrians. So this is the connection which were there. And they had also a church ceremony after his death, of the assassination, together in Yonkers. There's a longer report about this ceremony also, where Naum Faiq and other from the Diyarbakir community also attended this mass. Yeah.
And I would just, in relation to your observation, Marshall is not calling to the war, he is calling to the defense. Because it was the unique way to defend his own people. So it's not a call for the war, but for the defense. And everybody is legitimized to somehow call for the defense. So let's be there.
Did I say war? Did I say war? Then I apologize.
You said war, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Just support, financial support.
Oh no.
Yes, that's.
This is why I was telling
So
you.
this is one of my slides which I left, as you mentioned, Marbin Yamin. This poem was written by Naum Faiq and translated, I think, by my friend Niklas in my book. So this is one of his poems in remembrance of Marshaman. Okay.
Good. Who else was? Yeah, please. And we are almost at the last question.
Okay.
No, Ninip wants to translate it.
Ninip. Sorry, Ninip Chupona.
Well, Nicholas and Ninip are
Both my brothers.
Thank you, this is great work. Now, the information you gave us today seems to me, they are all what he wrote already also published in the journals at that time. He published quite a lot, over 100 and so on. Now, how much is still material there that's private material, like private letters of him, or any correspondence with on family members or other scholars that it wasn't published? Of course, he published a lot of information that he received and made them known in the journals, but how much is there still sort of spread, and can you give us a little bit idea about that?
I received a box with original material of Naum Faiq while I was in the US from his private possession, also from him directly, you can say. So I scanned all of them. Important documents I translated and published in my books. I have, maybe Professor Shabo is interested, a lot of handwriting scripts with a kind of dictionary. I don't know, it's Arabic, Syriac, I'm not sure what is it. I can...
Arabic dialects.
No, that's not the Omid dialect. It's something else which is not published yet. So, and I don't know what to do with that. So I'm open to say that, yes. So that's all. By the way, I use also for Sanharib, for Farid Nizha, also for Naum Faiq, I try to come in contact with his family. So unfortunately, they are always all Americanized, so they are Americans. They don't know nothing about their grandfather.
This is the disaster that we should avoid, that it becomes bigger. So let's focus on this last period, which is essential for us also from different point of views. I thank you very much for your attention. Now we have finished. Thank you.